Yes, I know. Even the biggest of bosses, the best bosses, are late to their own show. We're late. We ran into sound problems. I've had the shit set up for I don't know how fucking long. And of
165
course,
episodes.
oh yes, 165 episodes, people. And speaking of episodes, one of the biggest episodes ever, Stancil. Can you think about one of the biggest episodes ever?
Oh, well, that would have to be Fat Fest 2020, where
Fat.
a formerly large man, with the help of his crony Ray DeVito, cheated me out of what was surely an astonishing victory.
I know. I'm pretty sure Ray was hiding nuggets. Now he has promised me multiple times that he is not. We won't get into that again.
Ray's
We
a bad
can
guy.
if you'd like.
Gino says Ray's a bad guy. So
I like Ray. Every time I've been around him, I went to a special. He's very nice. He's very funny on stage.
Everybody says he's the nicest guy in comedy, but maybe that's all just it's a put on for what lies just beneath the surface of his deceitful, dark underbelly that all ended and maybe started or ended with hiding nuggets just to assist his roommate or whatever.
I mean,
disgusting.
Me and you can go on all day talking about this, but
we'll still talk about it. What was that? 100
nobody
episodes
will
ago?
know better than, of course, Bob Biggerstaff, comic established at the Comedy Cellar, of course, who moved back to Houston, would know better than anybody. Is Ray DeVito a piece of shit, Bobby Biggs?
Is Ray DeVito a piece of shit?
Yes.
No, Ray is a good guy. He's a
There
little, what do you want to say? Absent-minded.
Oh.
I don't know if he's ever been tested. That could be. He's just a little absent-minded, but no, Ray's a good guy.
I love Ray.
And I promise you, there is no way. I mean, I didn't have anything riding on the on Fat Fest 2020 except bragging rights, if you will. So I mean, there was no reason to cheat. And you got sick anyway. I always tell people, I'm like, the guy I went against got sick like 10 minutes in, but I was in such a fucking zone. I didn't even hear everybody when they told me I could stop. I was still just like,
just focusing on it.
Well, I'm
Now,
a performer. You know, we have to please the people. It was all part of the show. If I was
hey,
winning,
it got me a believe me, it got me a 5-minute chunk in my act. So
nice.
I was
Nice.
happy. I was happy we did it.
and I
Are
made
you
chunks
performing
for
down
5
there
minutes.
in Houston?
Say that again.
Are you performing down there in Houston?
I mean, not right now, but
Okay.
I mean, this is where I live now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you moved down there permanently.
I do a show like, I mean, mostly what I'm doing is doing the cruise ships because they're back to work and they're giving me a lot of work. So that's mainly what I'm doing. But I do like every 6 weeks I do a show at a local brewery in town called Eureka Heights Brewery. If anybody's in Houston, we got one coming up in a couple weeks. Bobby Biggs Beer and Belly Laughs.
We have
It's a good
people
show.
that,
It's free.
live in Houston that listen to the show. A lot of people, actually. I'm from Texas, of course, and my parents and brother live there. Now, that's why I was concerned why Barry Ribs declined to come on my show Thursday night, even though he was performing in Houston Friday night. I was just trying
Was
to
he
promote
really?
the man's show. Yeah, he was there. He was at the Improv Friday night.
Uninvited, of course.
Who was at the Improv?
I forget who he was opening up for. It was
Probably
I
a
didn't
black
know.
guy.
I'm not saying this in a bad way, but it was probably somebody. It was
Black.
probably an urban act.
I mean, yeah, it was two.
Don't worry,
That's-
we'll
that's
say
all-
it for you.
I know the Houston Improv. All they play is colors and urbans.
All they
I don't know if you
play-
can say that.
All they
I,
play
just-
is
I
colors.
can't.
Well, no,
I can't. After listening to
1950?
Kumia's show this week, I can't stop saying the bad words.
God.
I tell you what, though, who the Improv books, they book the people that sell tickets. You know,
I mean, where the Improv's located, it's right next to Pearland, right?
They must have got some wires.
no,
crossed, so they
it's on
put
the.
there.
It's actually you can't. It's right by it's right by an IKEA.
Oh,
No, I mean.
I mean, the IKEA is like a next exit down, but it's they book who sells tickets, and
When they sell tickets
you know
in that area.
unless you're
Yeah.
unless you're Rob unless you're Mark Norman or Rob Schneider, Kevin Nealon, they don't have it's a 450 seat room. The manager told me one time, he's like, we got to have 150 people to make any money.
Wow.
So, I do like one-offs every once in a while, and I get like 50 people.
Yeah.
And they're like, whatever.
I wonder the secret group opened up and it's booming.
Secret group's a great place. Anybody that listens to this that lives in Houston or ever comes to Houston, the secret group is a great club. I mean, it's more of it's built like a music venue, if you will. Like you see a comedy show, there'll be seats, but they're just like those, folding card table seats. There's no tables. There's no, you want to drink, you got to go up to the bar.
That's what
there's
it's all
also
about.
like standing room only in the back. Yeah, it's a great room. Their only problem is it's not big enough to get. They can get like Todd Barry. They can get guys because it only holds like, I think it holds like right around 200. They tried to get Dave Attell, but tickets would have had to have been $75 a ticket.
They did the Skank Fest there, didn't they? And then they put the stage up.
They
outside.
did, and those tickets are a lot more than $75.
Oh yeah, I know.
I mean, yeah, you gotta if you're doing a huge festival, and I mean, yeah, believe me, the owners are my good friends in comics, so yeah, they loved having Skank Fest there.
Yeah, I was happy.
Whether it got them a little bad press or not, it got them money.
It doesn't matter, man.
And it was very minimal. The bad press was minimal anyway.
Yeah, when the secret group opened up in Houston, it really brought down most of your New York like Cellar Comics and all those guys. That's where they perform. And then you got these big like Kevin Hart and all those guys who are
they're doing theaters and stuff.
Right, they do the Improv, all that, whatever else is there,
Yeah, so the secret group is really it's really helped Houston comedy because improvs are, I mean, every place wants to make money. The Improv has to make money. The Improv can't do like an open mic night they'll do it for a couple of weeks. If nobody shows up, there's not even a chance of making money, they're not going to do it. The secret group is also a bar. So it's like, even if there's nobody at the show, the bar is still open. The place is still open. So there's comedy there every night. I mean, it's really a great place.
Be. That's what comedy should be. A bar. You walk in and you hear a funny guy. That's how my dad learned about Ronnie James Dio. He was working in Dallas, and he went to a bar, and he's drinking, and some guy comes out on stage and starts playing some fucking rock and roll, and he looks over, and he never stopped listening to Ronnie James Dio the rest of his life. That's what it's all about, folks. Fuck the promotion. Fuck the big, look at me, I mean, that's in the light. Ooh.
That's what I mean. Nobody likes to admit it, but I mean, comedy clubs are just bars that have a guy standing there talking.
And it should be promoted as that. It should be promoted as that. Focus on the drinks and the service. And if the guy's funny, he'll turn the heads. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I mean, the Improv wants people. They want people to have dinner. They want it to be more of a. They don't want it like a crazy, too wild of a thing. But that's why all these other, independent venues and stuff. There's more of those than ever.
Right. Do you ever leave the important questions here? What do you think about the IKEA food, such as the meatballs? I've never been impressed by IKEA food, but other people rave about it.
Wait a second. Before you ask, what are you talking? I thought IKEA was
IKEA serves food in
those buildings. They have a cafeteria.
Yes.
I live right next to one.
Clearly you're not a fat person.
I live right next to an IKEA. I have no idea.
Yep.
Yeah, they have a little. I mean, it's probably changed since COVID, but they have. I think they're, as Jim said, I think their like number one seller is a Swedish meatball plate.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on the meatball? Do they sell hot dogs?
They're good, but you know what? Meatballs with gravy, you can't really mess that up.
I might
Yeah,
have to go
I've
there.
never been. I haven't been thoroughly impressed with IKEA food.
They're
in the
nothing.
past.
It's nothing special.
It's nothing. I guess if you're dragged there by your bitch wife and you got to look at
Mhm.
wood for 3 hours, anything's gonna taste good. On the
They
way
have
out.
they have a open faced shrimp sandwich.
Gross.
I had that one time. It was pretty good. I said I
Shrimp
tweeted
sandwich.
if I die tonight, it's from the open faced shrimp sandwich I had at IKEA.
It's awful. A Swedish open-faced shrimp sandwich. Nothing.
Well, and it was those little fucking garbage.
Oh, I
Like,
like those.
Oh
I like those,
God, the little
actually.
popcorn shrimp.
Oh, I love those, man.
I wait.
old-
No, these were like popcorn shrimp babies.
Ooh,
Ah,
ooh,
God,
no, never
disgusting.
mind.
Not, I mean, raw. They might have been. I assume they were boiled.
Whatever happened to Joe's Crab Shack in Houston? Remember those used to be popping in the early 2000s? And then
I
they
mean,
just
I guess I thought they were.
disappeared.
I guess I thought they were still around, but now that you say that, I haven't seen any commercials.
Yeah, they tore them all down. I think the only one that still exists is Galveston.
Houston cuisine talk. This is the section of the
Hey,
show where we talk
look,
about Houston
Houston-
cuisine, folks. Stay
Houston
tuned.
used to always gets voted, if not number one, definitely top 10, usually top 5 of fattest cities.
You
Oh,
did a
it's
great
so-
job. Good job. You got that. You
Oh,
got
yeah,
those
I-
numbers. Good job, Bob.
I helped. Yes, I helped with that.
Now you're
But,
not fat anymore, Bob.
Well, but here's the thing. Also, Houston is ranked high. Sometimes it's been number one on cities where people out the most. And I'm assuming those two things go together. Because the thing in Houston, obviously, New York, LA, there's 3 cities bigger than Houston: New York, LA, and Chicago. You can get food in New York. You can get food 24 hours every place. LA, I'm not really sure, but I would assume there would be a lot of late night places.
Correct me
Just
if
not as
I'm
much walking
wrong.
as obviously in New York. But Houston
Correct me-
has the fact that there's late night restaurants is cool. Go ahead.
Now Houston's better. Houston. Do I have it backwards? I feel like I've heard multiple times Houston is a much funner, better city than Dallas. Or do I have that backwards?
Absolutely.
Houston is the place.
Absolutely.
Dallas sucks, and Houston's fun. Is that correct?
I agree.
I mean, I'll say
Bob?
that because I'm from Houston.
I will say,
like I said,
I'll go on the record and say San Antonio is the best city in Texas.
Wow.
I will go on the record and say that.
Remember the
Go
Alamo.
to San Antonio and fucking go to Riverwalk, get drunk, walk around,
Sure.
see the historic shit, and have fun. A lot of bitches.
Yeah, but
ladies.
San Antonio, you go to the Riverwalk, you do all that stuff, and then you're like, okay, what else? What else do we do?
Yeah. Now where do I eat?
I mean, obviously
Tacos.
in a town that I live in, I know way more about it than I do Dallas. I've been to Dallas and San Antonio numerous times, but I also haven't really. I've never explored downtown in Dallas. San Antonio, I have because San Antonio isn't very big. But I used to play there's a couple of comedy clubs there. I'm actually going to be in San Antonio in January playing a new club that a guy opened.
What's it called?
Of course, I can't fucking remember what it's called.
Did you see
but
the
I'll look
one
it up.
there called Joker's Wild? I think it was something like that. Joker's something. And I saw Eric.
I've never heard of that.
Bogusino.
There was the River Center. There was a River Center, and then they opened another location on the north side of town. But the River Center was downtown. It was at the mall, and so when you would go, you stayed right downtown, but the downtown wasn't open late. It was weird. I did see some people. I saw some kids fucking on a roof. when I was
Nice.
Nice.
Did you film
staying
it?
in the comedy condo.
Crack one off.
Yeah. Did you put a batch out on the street?
Good looking
No,
kids.
but the funny thing is, so this was at
Were they
probably
fat kids?
no. It was two Latino kids.
Ooh.
Big
Big piece? Did he have a big piece?
Yeah. What's going on with the
Couple,
hog size?
couple of nice looking guys.
Cut.
Anyway,
God.
no, it was a guy and a girl, and it was probably 7:30. I was getting ready to walk over to the club, and this was Fat Bob, so that tells you how close the club was if I was walking to it.
Fat Bob's always Bob.
Of course, I'd get to the club and be just fucking drenched in sweat. So I see these two fucking, and then after my show, I'm walking back, and these two kids walk by me, And I remember I just
And-
go, good job. I go, good job. And the guy turned around and smiled at me.
bang him?
Upstage Comedy Lounge will be where I'll be in the middle of January.
Upstage Comedy Lounge, people.
a
What
new
date
club.
Do you have the date?
January 13th and 14th.
January 13th and 14th.
Upstage Comedy Lounge.
Cabana King, if you're listening, tell your friends. Go there.
A
Upstage
local-
Comedy Club. Get there now.
Yeah,
Now,
it's a new place.
Cabana almost got robbed yesterday.
Really?
In Houston, yes. He wanted to come on the show, but he is hammered right now. with
How did
some
he achieve that
whore.
at this time?
What?
How do you almost get robbed?
So he was driving his truck, and he was stopped at a stoplight, and a guy came up and started pulling on his door handle. And Cabana just flashed his knife.
A
Jesus.
guy walking?
Yeah, he just came up and
Like
started
is this
pulling,
like a
so-
day walker? You know, like
I, mean, I
like,
can
you
I
know.
can get him on to tell the story real quick.
No.
if you want. Yeah,
Not a-
exactly.
How is he hammered at 12:30 or probably 11:30 there?
Because it's his day off, I guess.
It's probably not too hard.
Yeah, he just drink. He's got him a new girl, all right, who he didn't know. I don't know if they listened to the show, but he thought she was like 24, something like that.
Yeah.
She's in her 30s. And
What a
Cabana's-
bitch.
Yeah, yeah. And she's hobgoblin over there. So, whew.
How
Yeah.
old is he? Is he in his 20s?
Yeah, he's younger than me.
Oh God.
Yeah, he's throwing him up.
Good for him.
Yeah, that's what I said. Good for him. So if you are listening to the show, good for you, Cabana. That's why we're not having you on. We don't want you to embarrass yourself, and we're thank God you didn't get robbed yesterday. And
Well, it would have been that would
For
have
the
been a better
story,
story, let's be honest,
yeah,
if he
but
was
then
robbed.
it probably would have cost me some money.
Even if imagine if he was killed, he could have been that would have been
Come on,
that would have helped
the,
us
the
out.
The show would be over.
Vinny Cash put in the chat, it says Ray DeVito didn't share his dashboard pizza with
Yes,
Bob.
we did. We had that up on the screen.
That is true, but also
What is the dashboard pizza, Bob?
I don't know if
Please
I-
go into detail.
he bought a fucking pizza and put the box on the dashboard and was driving and was eating out of it. And I was just
He
I never
was driving, or you were driving.
oddly enough, I've never seen that before. I never thought of doing that because I just assumed that a pizza box wouldn't fit on a dashboard.
Well, now were
Right.
you in the passenger seat?
I was in the passenger seat. I don't remember if he shared it, but I don't think it was a whole pizza. I think he like got 2 slices, and some places will put it in a whole box.
Now,
Right.
I've
But he
done,
also-
I've done it before where I naturally get a pizza and I throw it in the passenger seat and I'm eating
Sure.
out of the box while I drive.
Yeah.
Who has
Oh, I've done that.
He didn't think about the fact that he had a passenger with him because he's a lonely guy. We all know that. I love
Right.
Ray.
He's,
but we all
nobody's
know
ever
he's
in the
only-
passenger seat.
So
in that
he
car.
didn't think about that.
Well, he
And then by the time you got in, he's so hungry he just threw it on
Very
the dash.
lonely.
He ended up hitting the median and got a flat tire. I'll
That's
ne-
so funny. Did he finish the pizza?
I don't think
first?
I don't think I ever told that story.
Well,
Wow,
this is a great
breaking
place.
news, folks.
So he's eating the pizza. He's
Hold on, Bob,
he's
hold on,
opening
hold
up the
on.
fucking box.
Hold
When
on.
you-
Hold on. Let me stop it. Let's paint a picture here. Is the pizza is like directly in front of him on the dashboard or like centered in the middle?
Great question.
Pizza's
I'm
directly in front of him. So when
Whoa,
and,
Jesus.
and
yeah, I was thinking
that's
middle,
aggressive.
to where you open it and you're blocking your fucking view of the
That's
window.
why I
You know.
asked. That's why. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It wasn't even sideways. It was like, and I was just like, and
Fucking-
next thing I know, and I saw him going towards the median. That was a fucking thing, and I was like, oh, he's gonna swerve.
Now,
Fucking
he was driving with one hand and a slice in the other hand when he hit the median? just
I
all
believe
happened so
so, but he
fast.
certainly
Yeah.
yes, he was certainly distracted by the pizza
Wow.
because, and then the thing was, it was late. We had done a show somewhere. I mean, it was in New York City. We both did a set at some bar. He used to run some show on Sundays. I forget the name of the bar, but it was like a really, really small bar in Lower Manhattan.
Oh yeah.
And, like-
I'm not gonna get. I know what you're talking about.
Really small. Like if there was 5 people there, it was packed. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
I think it might have only, it was just a typical New York thing where you're like, of course this place only holds 10 people.
Right.
And you got to turn sideways to walk past anybody.
Now, did you?
But
did
then he hit the. So then he hits the thing. We get a flat tire, and we got to pull over. And I was just like, this is going to take forever. I think it was raining, but it was everything where we were. There was like a restaurant, but they were closing.
This sounds like a.
Just
I like how you know
typical
I like how
shit
Bob
that
knows.
happens with Ray.
I like how Bob knows the hours of the restaurant that was close to them that
I
was
know.
closing,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
that was the first thing he mentioned, not how they
Well,
called AAA.
No,
or
he just
Galatama.
pulled over, and we were right in front of this restaurant, and then we were like, oh, all right, well, let's just hang out here and drink until AAA shows up,
Oh,
and
God.
it took forever.
What a disaster.
Now, let me ask you this before I get into this next comment I put on the screen. Did you ever ask for a slice, or did you think that, perhaps since he bought the pizza and you guys are together, that he would offer you a slice? So I know me and Stancil are podcast partners, and if I bought a pie, I would let him get out of the box first, and then I would get my slice. I'm
Sure.
just that type of person.
Honestly, I don't remember. I think we might have gone into a place. I don't remember. I can't imagine me not eating pizza if he had it, unless he just had like one piece.
Maybe
I don't remember
freaking out 'cause
I don't remember if it was old. I remember if it was old, like he had bought it before we went to the bar, and then he had a couple leftover pieces. So he was like,
Oh my God.
when he and we met at the bar, and then we got in the car and he had it. I don't remember. I don't remember if
this is
if he
after,
stopped and got it.
This is after a gig. You're just trying to get home, and he's sucking down pizza, running into medians.
Yeah.
My God.
And that was the thing. It took us a long time. It took us a long time to get home because we had to wait. Of course,
nightmare.
it's AAA in New York.
Yeah.
AAA in New York City. It's not gonna take a half hour.
Oh my
I had to
God.
wait for it in Connecticut. It took 2 hours.
Yeah, it's
And
amazing.
it was
That's a great story.
raining, and we had, there's no place to fucking sit. It was just
Unbelievable. Classic Ray.
Classic Ray.
Yeah.
I don't know why he tells these stories, and I'm like, I kind of relate to them in a point of view, because I had bad luck happen to me, but then when I hear his stories, I'm like, all right, maybe mine wasn't so bad.
Hey, I tell you, if I didn't have bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Hey.
That should be his saying. Seriously.
Yeah, Ray has kind of some bad luck.
Oh,
He's getting better. He's gonna. I'm sure he's talked about it. If you guys have talked to him or followed him,
yeah, we're friends.
He's gonna start doing the cruises.
Is he?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yes,
Now, did you help him with
whoa.
that, or he told you he got into that?
I did not. I don't.
for
I
him.
can't help. I can't help anybody because I'm just kind of. I mean, I'm getting a lot of work, but I don't think my me mentioning somebody would help them at this point. You know what I mean?
yeah, I get it. That brings me.
And not just Ray. Anybody.
Right.
Of course,
Yeah.
I would recommend Ray, but I'm just
Well, that
not.
brings me into my next question, Bob. You mentioned on Twitter, you said, this is your first podcast you've done in a while. I've noticed that, of course, you're one of MLC's favorites. You haven't been on that show in a while, and I believe that's the last time I saw you is when I got super hammered about a year ago. We were on the show together talking hot sauce. And why haven't you been doing the podcast rounds?
I've been busy. I mean, as far as being on MLC on Brennan's podcast, I haven't talked to Kevin in a while. I'm sure if I I'll text him or message him something, and he'll message me back. It's not like we hate each other, but I haven't asked. I've been really busy. My wife and I just moved into a new house, doing a bunch of cruises, being out of town. And when I'm out of town, I'd love to be able to do podcasts on the ship, but the internet's so bad and sketchy.
It's horrible. I don't
it's
know
bad enough
how
sometimes
that's not updated.
on land.
I can watch porn on an airplane, but I can't watch porn on a fucking cruise ship. It's ridiculous.
Not right.
Well, some ships / companies have better Wi-Fi than others.
True.
And we gotta pay for it too. But it's also just,
as a working comic, you have to pay for the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, but that's I mean, that and alcohol are really the only things I have to pay for.
Brutal.
Yeah.
You got to pay for alcohol too. They should be feeding you drinks if you want them.
Yeah, but we have a crew bar where all the drinks are like $2, and on a ship.
Yeah, but you got to go way under the ship. You're not up deck with the pretty ladies.
Oh, believe me, that's where I'm staying, under the ship.
I know. Yeah. Under the ship is not.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing. I don't want to hang out with the passengers and stuff, because honestly, that's only asking for trouble.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you have mentioned the word wife a couple times, so yeah, you are asking for trouble.
Well, not even that, because that's one of the rules. You can't sleep with any of the passengers. If I go in a passenger's cabin,
what?
Or a passenger is found in my cabin, I get fired immediately.
I like how Bob goes from,
and I'd lose my job.
I like how Bob goes from I can't hang out with them straight to I can't sleep with them.
That's
I think
the whole point.
There's a little in between there, Bob, where you just kind of
because Ski Mask made a noise or was like, what? That's what he was implying. You can't fuck the passengers.
Well, he's a low life. Obviously, that's
no. Here's the thing. Here's the thing you guys don't get.
You live in a garage.
Everything that has to do with comedy that comedians can't do, like at a club or wherever, is because other asshole comedians have fucked it up for everybody else. For example, when you go to a comedy club, when you work at a comedy club on the road, the traditional rule is you get 2 free drinks per show. Right? That's like that's like kind of the standard thing. Now, if you tip the bartender and you're not ordering, I don't even know what top shelf liquors are, but you're not ordering, shots of Patron all night, the bartender will give you whatever you want. They'll give you more than 2 drinks. If you're ordering the expensive stuff, they might say like, "Hey, I can't give you that all night."
Right.
But what happens is a comedian, it's like the host or the opener, or it's a headliner that isn't selling any tickets. They drink. They're there for 3 days, and they drink 5 bottles of Patron.
Hell yeah.
Then the owner's like, "Hey, what the hell happened to our Patron? We only sold 2 shots all weekend, but we're down 3 bottles." And they're like, "Oh yeah, the comedian was drinking it." And it's like, all right, that's enough. Comedians just get 2 drinks and it's all well stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they
and just like on the ship,
ruined it for everyone.
Yeah.
Just like on the that's the thing. If you're famous, and you forget being famous, if you're selling tickets and you're popular, then you drink whatever you want. Dave Attell, when Dave Attell and Dave would actually tip and buy drinks for everybody, but when Dave was drinking, he could have whatever he wanted. You're selling out a room. You're not going to drink that much to affect the bottom line, even if you are, and he, like I said, he's actually paying and tipping everybody.
Now you're working cruises.
On the cruise ship, somebody fucked up by sleeping with a passenger, and somebody didn't know where their sister was, and somebody says, "Oh, I think," so they're looking all over the ship for somebody's sister.
Now, did they
Security's looking all over. It's a big deal, and then somebody goes, "Oh, I saw the sister. I saw her with the comedian." They go to the comedian's room, and she's hiding in the fucking tiny closet. He gets fired.
Yeah, he should have just slammed her outside in the hot tub. It's fucking.
It'd be funny if he was a prop comic and just drilling her with all types of, carrots and.
Put a free sandwich from the fucking buffet right in her ass.
No doubt. But I mean, it's always other comedians. It's always other comedians. You work some club. You stay at a nice hotel. You're like, wow, this is a nice hotel. Then some shitbag the next week takes a shit all over the fucking bathroom and every
Upper
place
decker.
except the toilet. Yeah, and then the hotel's like, I mean, I've heard like managers at clubs have told me, they're like, yeah, this guy was here last week. I go, because why aren't we staying at that hotel again? They're like, we had Billy Joe Fatfuck was here last week, and they called me over there to look at the bathroom, and I was like, what's wrong with the bathroom? They're like, you got to see this. And they show them, and there's like shit all over the fucking bathroom.
Sure.
So they can't.
So
now that hotel isn't used by the club anymore.
Have you ever been blamed for one of these instances? Because you seem to have a lot of knowledge about the comics, being
No, I'm
Batman
not.
boys.
I'm not. I'm not gross.
You never
hotel
blown up a
room.
toilet and you couldn't plunge it?
Uh, well, sure, but I'd call the janitor or whatever. I'd call housekeeping. I mean, I'm not going to leave. That's another
Logs?
thing. Last
I would
couple
leave
weeks ago,
logs myself.
couple weeks ago when I got on the cruise ship, I go in the bathroom and I lift up the toilet seat and it's just filled with shit. And I was like,
was it backlogged?
I like
or-
immediately walked. I immediately walked to the HR office and I was like, "Hey," I pressed the button. It's one. Cruise ship toilets are like airplane toilets,
I know.
Right.
I've seen it.
except there is a little. There is water in it. An airplane toilet doesn't have water. It's got that flap or whatever.
Yeah, it's like German toilets.
It doesn't have water floating in it because it would obviously
Right.
slosh all over the place. But on the ship, but when you press it, it's one of those suction jobs.
Yeah. It goes
So I
right
go-
down to the
I go to the
bilge.
HR office, not to complain about, not to like get the previous comic in trouble, because a lot of times the toilet doesn't work on the ship. They'll be doing something.
Is there one room? There's one room that the comics share.
I was
Like
gonna
every-
say you have a specific comic toilet.
No. I checked in. Like I'm getting on a ship Monday in Cape Canaveral, Florida, and Monday morning,
There's
99%
gonna be logs in the
chance
toilet.
there would have been another comic in that room that left that morning. But
Gotcha.
sometimes when the ship's in port, something happens to where the toilets don't flush for a little bit.
Okay.
So I went to
Now-
HR and I was like, "Hey, I go, you need to get somebody in there to fix the toilet immediately." I go, "Because it's filled with shit." And
Yeah.
I went and got something to eat, and by the time I came back, it was clear. But I
You
had
filled
pressed
it
the
right back
button.
up.
But I had pressed the button
Great
when I
question.
first got in there, and it goes. I was like, "Oh fuck!"
So you went to go eat and then you filled it right back up. And
Pretty
then you went
much,
and
yeah.
complained, and then you went and complained again. That's what I would do.
No,
Just have it. Just
No,
have
it
a
went
fun
down.
with it. Have a little fun.
Yeah. Just be like, hey, it's not fixed.
Not working again. This
As
is a different shit.
as a contract employee, I try to keep my complaints at a minimum. 'Cause
I
they
know
can
you do. I
always,
know you do. So speaking of
work
complaints,
me.
on a recent cruise ship, a comic is being ousted for saying the N word. Your thoughts?
Yeah. Do you know this
the-
guy?
The
First
guy's
of all?
an idiot. No,
Do you know
and
him?
No, but Ray does.
Wow.
That's who got him.
Apparently, he's from Cleveland. Oh, believe me, I asked Ray
I should
that.
text Ray. and
Well-
get him on.
And I can't find. That must have been his first cruise because we have a Facebook group of like the comedians on the ships, and nobody said, "Oh yeah, I work with that guy. I know him." I think that was his first cruise, and he just,
He
I was.
He went for it.
Yeah, I mean, the guy didn't just like look at a black person and call him the N word.
Well, I know
It was
that,
just-
but do you
it was
think
just a-
possibly since it was his first cruise that maybe he went a little bit overboard? Haha. That he's like, hey, I'm having a good time. I'm getting drunk. I'm gonna try everything. Because I think only one person complained to make it the news.
No, believe me, numerous people complained.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
Bob, did
But,
you see that? There's that clip of. Did you see? I didn't. There's no clip of the actual joke unless you can.
Right.
whatever
us. But there's that clip of him saying, "Oh, if you don't like whatever, then you can get the fuck out." And it sounded like everybody cheered. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, everybody
just heard
wanted
of this
to get
morning.
out. Yeah.
I mean,
So is it a
He
case of one
obviously
bad
said-
apple spoil it for all the other N words?
I actually know a black guy that got fired for saying the N word too much on the ship.
Interesting.
Really?
I imagine
Yeah,
it's
I mean-
a little more strict, right? Even like the
Well, yeah,
18 and over
it's a-
shows.
Look, it's a corporate environment, but it's not like doing a corporate show. I can honestly tell you that the act I do on the ship are the same jokes that I do on land. Like I don't have jokes that I mean, yes, of course, everybody has a few jokes where you're like, I probably shouldn't do that. But those jokes that I say, I probably shouldn't do that joke on the ship. I don't do on land anymore either.
Really?
Because well, I mean, we all have. If you've been doing comedy long enough, and unless you've always been like a PG, family-friendly comic, we all have jokes where. I mean, obviously, I never had a joke where I say the N word, but there's
plenty of
other
them.
words that aren't as popular now that we've all had jokes that we used to say,
Right.
and it's not a big deal to not do those jokes, but it's not the place. And also, here's the thing: you don't want to. When you do a show at a club, I can do whatever I want. I'm headlining. It's my show. I can do whatever I want. If I have a bad show, if all the other shows are good, all the owner booker is going to remember is, he had one crappy show. He's funny. He had all these other good shows. If they even remember the crappy show. On the ship,
They're looking to make money.
on the ship, if you have a bad show, you could literally not get any more work. One bad show. So point being, you got to do really well at your show, which causes a lot of comics to do old jokes and kind of
Play the hits.
kind of hack it up to. Yeah, there's no rules out there. It's guys. I've seen guys do old jokes, and the only you see guys do jokes, and you're just like, these jokes are so old, you don't know who wrote them. It's like obviously that joke is not yours.
But that's not.
I heard a guy one time
matter.
say, you hear every travel joke because everybody flew to get to the ship, and I never heard all these jokes. There's so many hacky travel jokes and stuff that I've heard. For example, my favorite, just how stupid it is the comedian goes, "Hey, I'm surprised I made it to the ship, because I flew Delta to the airport. You know what Delta stands for? Don't ever leave the airport." And the crowd's dying, and I'm laughing just because I'm like, Jesus Christ! But I've never heard that
You're
joke.
laughing with the crowd. It's hilarious.
Right, but it's stupid.
It's hacky, but on a
it's
cruise
stupid,
ship,
and
it's funny.
that joke is as old as Delta Airline.
If
Like,
I
you
was
couldn't
drunk,
even-
If I was drunk on I know what you're saying, but if I was drunk on a cruise ship and everybody's laughing at that,
Yeah.
I'd be laughing too. You
But
know?
exactly, it's a different.
'Cause
The only time you ever
everybody on a cruise ship is like not a comedy fan. They're there to gamble, fucking swim in pools, and see buy some
of
bullshit
course,
in Mexico.
for the most part.
They're not there for a comedy show. No one's booking.
I mean,
a
I've had
comedy show.
I've had other comics say to me, I can tell this is the same act that you do on land. And I'm always like, yeah, that's my act. I don't have a cruise ship act. I go, these
Why
are the
would they
jokes
say
I have.
something like that.
Because they could tell I don't do all the cruise jokes, and I have and not everybody's like that,
Yeah.
But like I said, it's a different world. You can't get mad at anybody for doing it because it's a great job, believe me. It's not.
I mean, you're on a ship and you're working for a company. You got to do what works. You're not going to have the same crowd every time. You don't have to worry about the same person being on the next fucking boat. You could just
No, you
do
might
another act.
you might have to worry about it at the next show though. That's the thing. Comedy's the most.
That's true.
I'm doing a 3 and a 4 day cruise. Now those are pretty short.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do 5 or 6 shows. It'll be 2 PG and 3 R, or 3 PG and 3 R.
Any XR?
There's some people that come to every single show.
That's crazy to me, man. I every time I went on a cruise, I've never been to the comedy show.
It's
I
the
went to
most
one
popular
thing.
thing on the ship. I mean, so what I'm telling you is, on that 3 day cruise,
It's like
there's
a
going to be
casino.
10. There's going to be 10 or 12 comedy shows.
Wow.
And if you're on a 7 day cruise, there's going to be 4 comedians. So there's going to be 20 shows at least.
Now, what happens to the hecklers? And have you ever had a heckler in the audience? Do they get thrown overboard, just wrapped around the mast, or do they just
Honestly-
get kicked out of the show and not allowed back to the comedy show? Because you're going to run into that person again if
Put
you
him in the
want to.
brig.
Well, that it's funny you say that about you're going to run into them again. That's why you don't like hang out with the passengers afterwards. Because say I
Right,
have a
you bang
show,
'em.
say I have a show that I don't think is very good. Well, I don't want to, hang out with people that are, you're at a club, they're leaving, they're going home. You're on a ship, you're like, great, I gotta see these people for another 5 fucking days. But I honestly, I haven't. I've never had a bad heckler on the ship.
Really? Okay. Yeah.
What
that
is
was what
the-
I was wondering about.
This is a borderline hack question, but I'm curious anyway. What is like the comedy? And it can be the show, but this is not comedy specific. What is the biggest debacle of a cruise, or biggest debacle of a cruise, or debacle of a situation you've encountered on one of these cruises? Because a lot of viral cruise videos out there.
I've never been on one where there was I saw a guy I saw a white guy knock out another white guy because I guess he called he used the N-word to his black friend. I don't know if he called him the N-word, but he said it, and then next thing you know, I saw the other guy laying on the ground by the casino.
Maritime justice, we call that.
On his back. But I've never been on when there's been like a huge fight or a riot.
Everyone got sick. Everyone on a cruise. Everyone got sick from the food or something.
No,
Seasick? You
Oh.
get seasick at all?
no, I never have. I've what was I gonna say? I mean, years ago when I first started, I had a couple bad shows where I was just like, you got to do this 30-minute set. And this one time, 10 minutes in, I was trying to do some new stuff. This was like 7-8 years ago. I was trying to do actually it was right after I started. So it was like 9 years ago. I started doing a new set, new joke that I hadn't done before on the ship. And I was bombing. I mean, I'm fat, sweaty, just fucking dripping.
Just eat. I can't wait for the buffet.
20 minutes to go. So I start doing jokes that work, but from another show. And the first joke I do again, when I get to the punchline, some guy yells it out.
Oh, that's brutal.
I do another joke that I know works. Same thing. So now I've made it to where I have like 18 minutes left, and I'm just like, yeah. And it was just fucking people just getting up and walking out. It was horrible. I mean, that's the other thing. When you go to a comedy club, when are you going to walk out at a comedy club? Odds are you've paid for a ticket. People can leave the comedy on the ship. There's nothing holding them in there. So if you don't have their attention, sometimes people leave just because they're like, let's go eat. Or they're like,
yeah, the show's
drink. The show's at 8. We have a dinner reservation at 8:15. I see people, I'll be like, why are you leaving? They're like, oh, we got a dinner reservation. I'm like, yeah, that was nice that you made your reservation for halfway through the fucking comedy show.
I don't think it's up to them to make the reservation, though, is it?
If they're eating in the dining room.
Oh, true. Okay.
Or they have a specific time. That
only savages eat in the dining room on cruise ships, folks. Otherwise, you got a set time and date that you.
I do I always eat at the buffet, and I do the sea day brunch.
I know.
Sea day brunch. I get that for free.
Buffets, performing on the ships? Wow. Buffets are good. Good hot dogs.
Anything the passengers have to pay for, I have to pay for.
Gotcha.
Internet, alcohol. If they got a couple like restaurants you have to pay. I get a little discount, but it's nothing big. They have like sushi.
You ever go out and do a big cannonball in one of the pools?
No, I've never been in the pool. I want to go on one. I'm going to go on one of the water slides one of these days.
Yeah.
Now I got the
water slide.
But now I got this fucking boot on my foot, so that cuts that out for like the next 5 months.
Just ask your doctor for a waterproof boot. They make them.
Yeah.
My brother had one. That's how I know.
Yeah, let me see if I can. I guess you can't. I can't flip it around on my other
It'll
camera.
make you go faster down the slide too. Now that you don't have all that weight. Now, what I've gathered from this.
Can you see my boot?
Oh wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Looks like
what do you got going on now,
polo.
Bob?
You guys don't. You guys don't know about that?
I kind of tell our thousands of listeners what happened.
I'm just. I broke a bone on the top of my foot by my ankle, but I don't know how I did it. I had,
God.
a couple years ago, back problem with sciatica, and I
remember
was
that.
having a couple months ago. I was having a flare up of my sciatica, and the way my sciatica works is it hurts in my foot, not really in my back. The nerve goes down from your back through your hip all the way down to your foot. So my problem has always been my foot hurts really bad. Feels like somebody stabbing me. So I was on the cruise ship having a little flare up. Lasted about a week, but then I noticed about 5 days in, I was like, man, my foot is hurting in a different way. Well, I'm married and finally got insurance. So I went to the foot doctor and he said, took x-rays and I have a broken bone on the top of my foot. Because I used to have diabetes from when I was fat, but I lost it. I had type 2, but I lost it from losing the weight.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But I have some neuropathy in my feet, which means I have some nerve damage, so I have less feeling. So I don't know when I broke my foot. I broke this bone in my foot. And the doctor was like, yeah, if you didn't have that neuropathy, he goes, it would have hurt a lot worse. And I was like, well, it didn't tickle, but I could still walk on it and stuff. And my foot was really swollen. And this boot is great because it doesn't, it's basically just a removable cast, but it immobilizes my ankle so I can walk around. Which is good because what's wrong with my foot is they used to fix it by giving you an actual cast. And then you sat in a wheelchair with your foot sticking out for a year.
Christ. Wait, Bob, we haven't seen you or talked to you in a bit. How did you did lose a lot of weight? I don't know, you were losing weight when we did Fat Fest even, I feel
55
like.
pounds.
Yeah.
No. Fat Fest was pre-COVID.
You were fat then?
Yeah, I didn't lose. I never forget the date. October 17th was when my foot started to hurt. I went to the hospital. October 20th, 2020 was when I went to the hospital. Actually, was Fat Fest, was that in 2019 or 2020?
It should have been 2020.
And that was COVID, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
I started the show after COVID because I was bored in my apartment.
It was July 4th weekend. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, but I didn't start losing weight until, I'll say, the day I got in the hospital, October 20th.
Wow. Just diet, Bob, or did you do it just change the diet or exercise as well? We have a lot of fat listeners who might want to know.
I was in the hospital for 3 weeks, and in that time, I lost 35 pounds without doing anything.
Just
Nice.
how many IV bags?
No beer.
Do you have IV bags?
I used to drink a lot of beer, honestly, because I was eating 3 meals a day in the hospital. Now I was a little sad being in the hospital, so I certainly wasn't eating everything they gave me, but also no, I couldn't with my fucking, my back and foot hurt. I couldn't, it was, I was taking morphine and oxy. Well, not morphine, oxy.
I don't like the morphine. I was in the hospital recently. I didn't like the way the morphine made me feel.
They gave me morphine to get it. I couldn't lay down straight on my back for a little while.
It made me feel cold.
So I had to get an MRI. And if you ever had an MRI, they put you on a fucking
couple of them
concrete slab.
Yep.
But I couldn't lay down. So they were like, all right, we're going to give you morphine, take you down. They gave me the morphine, but it only lasted like 10 minutes. I couldn't do the MRI. I got in the machine, and after 5 minutes, I was like, I can't do this. My back hurts. And they gave me something else the next day. I don't know what they gave me. I didn't like the oxy because it gave me constipation, and
I've always hated pain medication. I don't know
had
what
to
it
jam.
is.
I had to jam my fucking 4 fingers up my ass, fucking pull out a tiny piece of shit that was blocking me.
Nice.
Wow.
Oh man, I was at home. I took an enema. This is like after I got home. They still had some oxy.
You thought it was an M&M?
I gave, what did I do? I bought an enema. I don't know if you ever given yourself an enema. That was weird.
Yeah, I paid $100 for one time.
I was like, I just bought one on Amazon,
No, I'm talking a hooker.
And then I drank some poop tea, like tea that makes you poop. And literally and it was probably just time, like maybe the enema kicked in. but I took one sip of the tea and I almost shit in the fucking kitchen.
Wow, Pixar didn't happen.
I was in New York, so it would've-
This is all so sad, Bob.
I love it.
We want to bring.
No,
you
it's
up.
all
I'm
it's
loving
all
it.
good.
I'm loving it too. That's why I can't talk. I love it when he's ranting like this.
You know,
But I'd
yeah.
like to get into
Kevin
a-
never
I
lets
lost-
Bob talk.
I
Kevin
lost
never lets
weight.
Bob talk.
I lost
true.
weight. I don't have diabetes. I wear extra
Are you
large.
happy, Bob? I mean, you've mentioned many
Yeah, I
times
got-
that you're married. I mean, you sound
Come here,
happy.
Bear. Come here, Bunny.
Oh,
come
yeah,
here,
We got to get the dogs on here. That's what you mentioned on Twitter.
Bunny.
Bunny was the favorite.
This
Or
is
was it
Bunny
all
Biggs.
three? Bunny Biggs.
Bunny Biggs.
Oh.
Bear,
Oh,
come here.
How old
very
is
well
Bunny?
trimmed.
Bunny is. She turned a year in. When was she born? I think in December.
Oh wow.
No, Bear was born. Bear. Bear. Bear.
Wow,
Bear. Bear.
all these dogs are so
Wow.
well trimmed.
Bear just got his stitches out. He has
Wow.
his balls are empty.
Let's see.
Can
He
I
just
have
got
the
his stitch-
balls?
He just got his stitches out yesterday.
Oh, he got
sorry.
his nuts chopped off.
Hey, if you
They're
if
still
you
they're
want-
still
if you
there.
want
It's just
somebody-
it's just an empty sack.
Yeah, my little dog is neutered, but when he gets excited, you can see little hard balls show up. It's interesting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
He
can
gets-
touch him.
He gets a boner every once in a while. Come on, boner.
Get
Show
that,
your
come on,
boner.
get a boner, Bunny.
Yeah,
Boners
come
for
on, let's
Bunny.
get that chub.
No, this is Bear. Bunny.
Boners
The funny
for Bear.
the funny thing is, so Bear, he still does it, but he'll get on top of he'll get on top of Bunny and try to hump her, but
Good.
then I'll see Bunny doing the same thing, and I'm like, Bunny, that's not even how it works. You don't have anything to stick inside him. Get out from behind him.
Well, if you ever need a groomer in Houston,
They're good puppies.
You have my phone number. Just text me. I know a person who
Jesus.
grooms dogs. Dogs, excuse me.
They're good dogs.
Yeah, that's
We like
two of the
dogs.
three.
You asked me if I'm happy. You asked me if I'm happy. I'm very happy. I got a lovely wife. We just moved into a brand new
A
house.
house, yeah, no partial walls.
No, fully completed. We saw,
Wow.
we even saw when they were building it.
Did you see the
Wow.
wall half built and you got a little emotional, you got a little nostalgic for
A little teary-eyed.
yeah.
Well,
when you-
Nice.
That was New York ventilation.
that was bizarre, but great.
Now we got, it's Houston. We got central air, but yeah, brand new house. A couple of dogs.
You don't get in specifics, but your
doing
wife
fine.
isn't in the industry, right? She's not in this. She doesn't do comedy stuff, does she? Or does she?
No, she's a nurse. She's a nurse manager.
Oh,
Dang.
someone's doing well.
My mother was a nurse for 45 years, and now I live.
Yeah,
in a house.
she's a manager though, so she gets paid salary. She makes really good money, but somebody couldn't show up today, so she had to go to work. That's why
Oh.
I got on a little late because I had to take.
No,
her to
that's
work.
all good. I mean,
Only
of
one
course,
car.
you can join anytime you want. It takes us, of course, 15 to 20 minutes every time to set up our audio. I can never figure out what's going on. That's the problem. I moved up north, Bob, from Texas, and I slowly regret it every day that I open up my eyes.
You've got a nice little. I came by your place.
Where are you? Are you in Connecticut?
I am, yes. Yeah, I live in New Haven.
Okay.
You got
I've
a
been to
little
Hartford.
slice of heaven there, on the outskirts of the hood. A nice little.
It's not bad. I
It's not
like
bad.
the gunshots. That way I can remember to grab my piece underneath my bed because sometimes you forget how to grab that weaponry.
Gun wave in
But-
New Haven, we used to call it. I went to
Exactly.
school there.
I love it. So I like that part about it. Oh, this is so good. Here's what I've learned from today's podcast, folks, is that not only is Ray DeVito a mental patient, but Bob Biggerstaff is also a mental patient, and that's
What?
why those two teamed up to make that show, the podcast they had together. Completely
G-Hole.
mental, Bob. G-Hole podcast. Of course, you guys would listen to Kevin's nonsense. Oh my God.
Ray's a good guy.
Ray's a
Everybody-
great ad.
everybody
You're a
like-
good guy.
everybody likes
You're
Ray.
both mental. We're all mental.
Gino Bisconti does not like Gray at all.
Yeah, Gino. But who cares about Gino? Who gives a shit? I'm gonna fight Gino. I would love to fight Gino.
Well, the next at Ski Mask Palooza, which is the new Skank Fest.
That's right. We got Ski Mask Palooza in the works, folks. That we're gonna be doing
It'll
kayaking.
be in Atlantic City.
Yeah, I thought we were doing a kayaking thing.
Well, I could kayak in Atlantic City. I'll
No, we're all
kayak.
gonna rent. Yeah, we're gonna rent kayaks. We're gonna go to an island, and I will fight Gino Bisconti there.
Ha! Somehow I don't think Gino's going to be a part of Ski Mask.
Yeah, he won't make it on the boat. That's the problem. I'll fight him at Bali's. But Gino, if you're listening to this is
Oh,
Ski
he's
Mask
listening.
Collective episode 165. I know that's why he won't do the show. Trust me. I think you're funny and all, but you've been avoiding me. So let's just box it out. We'll get it out of our systems. Have me on In Hot Water. I'll take off of work. I'll come into the city. We'll box. I'll outdrink you. Number
Wow.
one. I will always outdrink Gino. Gino can never drink as much as me. I've had pancreatitis.
I don't know. He does.
twice.
He drinks a lot, and he stays semi together.
He still has his show on
Like his
Kumia's
act?
network.
Still there. Yep. Still
Yeah.
plugging away.
What we have to
Burgless.
do- yes.
Burgless, but still doing it.
Now, Bob Biggerstaff, what do you have to plug, my dude? Do you have anything coming up besides the ships? Of course, you can't sell tickets to the ship, can you?
No, I mean people book people book their cruises so far out.
'Cause we're
It's
gonna
like-
do our own
You can't even-
show wrap up.
Can't even
here.
tell people.
where
it's
you're
like-
at, where you're gonna be.
People are like, "Who's the comedian in November of 2024?" And you're like, "What?" October 21st, I'll be at I'll do my show at Eureka Heights in Houston, Eureka Heights Brewery, Bobby Biggs Beer and Belly Laughs. You know, just follow me on
Belly Laughs, Travis. If you're
Follow
watching,
me on
Dad, if
Twitter.
you're watching, go see that show. Go see Bobby Biggs.
at Bob_Biggerstaff on Twitter, at Chili Time on Instagram, Facebook. I'm on all this stuff. I put all that.
I know.
I gotta start doing my podcast again. I've just been busy.
Yeah, man, you gotta get back on the mics. You're a funny dude. We always enjoyed you. You're one of MLC's favorites. You've always been that way.
Thank you.
And we
I
want you to
appreciate it.
stick around the community. We've missed you. I was very surprised when you responded to my Twitter DM. And I hope the fucking cruises are going well, man. Be safe out there. And
Honestly, they are. They're going. I have a lot of fun doing them. The shows are great. You know, the crowds, even the PG shows. Sometimes when there's kids there, you know, it's funny when I'll be doing a PG show and I'll start to do a joke, and then I get halfway through and I go, I can't finish that joke. Everybody's
Bob,
like,
would you
"What?"
do? Let me ask you this before we finish up here. Would you do a fit fest in the future where we eat like a healthy cuisine in bulk amounts? Or is your days of binge eating behind you?
No, I'd probably do that.
All right. Well, we'll talk.
Maybe I'll take Stanson.
I mean,
with me to Houston next time I come.
that sounds kind of weird. Who
That's
can
why
eat
we'll
the
do
most? Who can eat the most apples? Hey.
it. Yeah.
Maybe I'll take Stanson with me to Houston next time I come, and we'll do a actual fit fest. We'll go to a track. You guys run a mile. Then we go to the pool. You guys do the fattest cannonballs.
Hey, when
biggest cannonballs.
I'll be looking to do stuff when I get this fucking boot off.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's gonna be a couple months, anyways.
But it feels. I tell you, wearing this, and I customized it. I got some Tampa Bay Buccaneers and University of Houston stickers on.
That's what I
Bucks
was
or
just about
Chiefs?
to-
Who you got?
That's what
Who
I
you
was
got
just
this
about to
weekend?
get into.
Bucks
I got
or
the
Chiefs?
Bucks. I'm always going to go for the Bucks.
Good luck with that. They're losing.
Do I think they're really going to win? Would I be surprised? No, but I would say it all depends if any of their wide receivers are back.
I did pick the Chiefs. I went to as much as I would love to see Patrick Mahomes get both of his legs broken. I did go to high school with him, and I gotta kind of support him. But I
Look.
would love just to see him get cracked because of his dumb wife.
In 2020, when Tampa Bay won the Super Bowl, They played the Saints on a Sunday night. I was in the hospital. I remember watching, and the Saints beat them like 35-3. They destroyed them. That was the worst loss a team that won the Super Bowl in the same season has ever had.
Yeah.
And I think as bad as Tampa Bay has been in their whole, the whole time Tampa Bay has ever been a team, they're like the worst. They have the worst winning percentage of any professional sports team that's been around longer than 10 years.
Yep.
Yeah, they were bad.
That was the worst loss. So, they lost last week. They lost last week to Green Bay. And, my friend's like, are you worried? And I'm like, no. They probably had, I was talking about how bad Tampa Bay was. For them to lose as bad as they did to the Saints in 2020, when they had all those guys on their team, I go, that was probably the worst loss in the history of the franchise. To lose 35-3 when you have Tom Brady, Gronkowski, Mike Evans, Fournette, you got all these guys. And when they used to lose all the time, in the 70s and 80s, they didn't have anybody on their team. So even if they lose to the Chiefs, am I worried? I mean, I won't be happy about it, but I'm not necessarily worried. I know they can turn it around.
Right, of course, yes, as they normally do. We've seen them do it.
And they got a lot of injuries. So, football season's a great time of the year.
Last question, Bob, before we let you go.
Sure.
What made you become a Buccaneers fan? As being from Texas, as I'm from Texas too, as a Texan. I
was born in Tampa, and all my family's from there.
Got you. Okay, that answers that question real quick. Bobby Biggs, we love you. Kevin, we know you're watching. Please have this man back on soon. Kevin watches every episode. He's probably in
I'm sure
right now. He does.
I love you, Kevin.
He completely follows the show. Kevin, we love you.
Kevin's
Bobby
probably still
Biggs
hungover.
Yeah, I know. He's definitely still hungover. Bobby Biggs, good luck out there. Stay in touch, please. You're always funny.
Thanks for having me, guys. It was fun.
Love you,
Thanks,
Bob.
man.
Godspeed.
New fest
See you, Jim.
soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye. All right, there goes Bobby Biggs. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Of course, the hilarious.
Haven't heard from Bob in a while. It was
He's always funny.
a bit of
man.
an
He's great.
exclusive, I feel like.
Yes, I feel that way too. He told me, he hasn't done podcasting in a while or anything like that, and he's funny. I mean, come on, the guy has always been hilarious to me.
He's a good egg. I like when Kevin gets mad at him on MLC.
I love it.
So hopefully they catch
Nothing
up
better.
soon.
And especially go back and watch those old burning bridges videos. Sorry.
Oh, when he's eating chili on the couch.
Oh, brutal.
Kevin just rips him for an hour.
Speaking of Kevin, we'll wrap up on this.
Yes, unbelievable.
Wow.
Another banner day for our Lord and Savior.
Wow.
Just the bar raises every
Wow.
week. He's gonna have to slow down. Like, what is he gonna do next Thursday?
I'm feeling
He's gonna
like
die.
He's going to die. I don't know how they can raise the bar from this. I mean, that was insanity. What happened?
Unbelievable. And I don't know did you watch the football show?
Oh, I watched it
Oh
2
my
times.
God. That was
I watched.
unbelievable. I haven't. I mean, we were lucky to see behind the
My
curtain.
dad.
We were. I've been saying that all day. We were lucky to see behind the hammered Brennan curtain down in AC. So it wasn't
Oh, of
totally
course.
surprising, but it was. It
wasn't.
was.
Yeah, you're right. It
It was the
surprising.
same Kevin we saw down in AC, but it was fun seeing him on
I
his
was
show.
thinking into my head. That's why I watched it twice. I was thinking in my head when he said, "This is the drunkest I've ever been." I think he was a little bit drunker in the van in Atlantic City when he was
Yes.
yelling. He rolled the window down and yelled, "I want cock!
Yes.
I want cock!"
Yes. He loves saying the F word when he's hammered.
Of course.
Couldn't
Steve,
say the
but,
other word, obviously.
Yes.
But yeah, what
Man,
a
that's
day!
fair.
What a day for our king on Thursday. Just crushed it.
He did very well. And we have a new T-shirt coming out, folks. I'm working on the website. The password's being a pain in the ass. But it's pissing me the fuck off,
There's
dog.
always an issue.
It's so stupid. I always set these passwords. I'm like, yeah, I'll remember it. So I'm going to start. I've been making a list of writing down all my passwords. But new T-shirts will be available. But I only wait till next.
This is awful. We really got to figure this
You
out.
guys
And
have
I'm
to-
just
yeah,
as
we
guilty.
do.
I haven't done anything, but
It's okay. No,
you
I
should
have to
probably
figure it out
out.
too because my girlfriend's been moving or arranging furniture, and I went to go set this whole thing up. And I'm like, where the fuck is all my shit? So I'm going through this bucket and I'm putting everything together. That's why it was so hard to get the audio together. Anyways, folks, we got the audio together, even though I can't hear myself, so I probably sound like a retard. Sports. Compound Media doesn't only do it.
No, we did it
Sports Mass
first.
Collective is coming
Sports
up.
Mass Collective. If you're watching live, stay right there. We're gonna flip this thing over and get right into Sports Mass Collective week 4 of the NFL. Right after
I
this.
have a lot of money in DraftKings, and I'm ready to make some live bets, folks.
Well, let's go join the show. My other guest, my other co-hosts couldn't make it, so why don't you join me co-hosting the sports show? You haven't been on in a while.
All right, sounds good. We'll do 10 minutes?
10 minutes. Well, you can stay as long as you want.
No,
we got a lot to cover, folks.
I said a 10-minute break.
Oh, if that. I'm just turning this thing right around. Yeah, about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I gotta take a piss and you know.
All right. I'll send you the link, folks, if you're watching live.
Yeah, you know what, David? You're right. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get drunk. You're gonna get high, and we're gonna fucking talk some sports.
Yeah, not sending the link then.
All right, I'm not getting drunk.
All right. All right.
I'm gonna eat a meatloaf.
Hang around, folks.
And
if you're not if you're hearing this post, Sports Mass Collective, just subscribe to it or whatever. It's on all that. iTunes,
it's on all the
Spotify,
podcasts,
blah, blah.
everywhere you can find it, and it's also on Ski Mask Collective at YouTube.com. Go there, go to the Sports Mask. I'm telling you guys, it's my favorite podcast to listen to when I'm not on. When I am on, I can't listen to it. Sorry, dude, I don't smoke weed. I don't have any weed. I don't know anywhere to buy some weed. So unless Stanton wants to bring me some weed, I'm not getting
Plenty
high.
of weed.
All right, come bring me some weed in. Other than that,
get on the page.
Get on.
Yeah, get on the page.
Yeah, patreon.com.
Page
/
Ski Mask Media.
Ski Mask Media.
I'll be recording a Stancil Culture. This is a big one. It's been in the holster a while. It needs to be done. We're going to talk about gym etiquette. Because I've got a lot
I like it.
to fucking say, and I see a lot of terrible things every day at the gym. So we're going to get the bottom of that. Patreon only for that.
Oh, and speaking of Patreon, ladies and gentlemen, go to patreon.com/skimaskmedia. I went bald last weekend. I walked into a barbershop I have never been into. I cut the top off of the ski mask, and I had them shave my head. And all these gentlemen are looking at me like I look ridiculous, which I do. And it's a lot of fun. It's family-friendly fun. All
Family
right?
friendly. Bring
Come
your kids,
there
bring
now.
grandma, bring your
Put
gay
it
son,
on the big screen.
bring your transgender sister. Come on down, subscribe to Patreon and Ski Mask Media, folks.
All right.
Kill your husband.
Stick around for sports. Go get a drink and go get high.
Bye.